The Cross River State government has marked for demolition a property belonging to the People's Democratic Party's deputy governorship candidate, Alphonsus Ogar Eba, days after he granted an interview criticizing Governor Bassey Otu's administration ahead of the 2027 governorship election in Cross River State. Akahi News gathered that officials of the Cross River State Planning and Development Control Task Force served a demolition notice on the property in Calabar. Eba described the action as politically motivated, while the state government maintained that the property is among about 20 buildings allegedly erected within the water board pipeline right of way in violation of physical planning regulations. The government also stated that some affected buildings belong to APC members and government appointees, insisting the exercise is a lawful urban planning measure rather than political persecution. What exactly has changed following this report? The controversy extends far beyond one building. It has quickly become a test of whether government regulatory powers are being exercised impartially or are merely being perceived through the lens of politics. On one hand, governments have both the legal authority and the responsibility to enforce physical planning laws. If structures genuinely obstruct critical public infrastructure, such as water pipelines, or violate approved development regulations, authorities have a duty to act in the public interest, regardless of who owns the property. On the other hand, timing is often as important as legality in public administration. When enforcement action closely follows a spoken criticism from an opposition figure, questions about motive naturally arise, even where the government insists the action is routine. Public confidence depends not only on lawful action but also on the appearance of fairness. The government's explanation that nearly 20 properties, including those owned by APC figures, were similarly marked is an important detail that should not be overlooked. If independently verified, it would strengthen the argument that the exercise is a broader urban renewal or infrastructure protection initiative rather than selective political targeting. Nevertheless, transparency remains essential. Nigerians deserve access to the legal basis for the demolition notice, previous warning issued to property owners, approved development plans, and the criteria used in selecting affected structures. Such openness would reduce speculation and reinforce institutional credibility. For opposition parties, the incident illustrates the importance of pursuing legal remedies rather than relying solely on political narratives. Likewise, governments must recognize that actions involving prominent political actors attract heightened public scrutiny and therefore require exceptional transparency. Take note of that and please pay attention. Ultimately, this episode is not only about one politician's house. It raises broader questions about the balance between lawful governance, protection of public infrastructure, political rights, and public trust in democratic institutions. 5 things I want you to take into cognizance following this report. Number 1, governments can enforce planning laws. Authorities have statutory powers to remove developments that violate approved physical planning regulations. Number 2, political timing influences public perception. Even lawful enforcement may attract suspicion if it coincides with political disputes. Number 3, evidence is crucial. Allegations of political victimization should be supported by verifiable facts, while government should equally justify enforcement action with documentary evidence. Take note of that, very important. Number 4, infrastructure protection serves the public interest. Encroachments on utility corridors can pose safety, environmental, and service delivery risk. Number 5, the court remains the proper avenue for dispute. Property owners who believe enforcement is unlawful have legal mechanisms to challenge government decision in the court of law. Questions set for your deeper reflection based on this report. Number 1, was the demolition notice issued solely because of planning violations, or did political events influence public perception? Question 2, have similar planning laws been enforced consistently against all property owners in Cross River State? Question 3, could greater transparency have prevented this controversy? Question 4, how should governments balance urban planning enforcement with respect for political freedoms? Number 5, what safeguards exist to prevent abuse of regulatory powers during election periods? Lastly, how can public confidence be strengthened when government action affects opposition figures? Akahi News recommends the following based on this report. Number 1, the Cross River State government should publicly release the legal and technical basis for the demolition exercise. Number 2, independent verification should confirm whether all affected properties were selected using the same objective criteria. Number 3, property owners should be afforded adequate opportunity to pursue legal or lawful appeals. Number 4, political actors should avoid drawing premature conclusion before all facts are established. Number 5, civil society organizations should monitor the matter to ensure due process is observed. Number 6, regulatory agencies should communicate enforcement decisions promptly and transparently to minimize public suspicion. Thank you for joining me. I am Joseph Yaji.